Hi, welcome to your What's Coming In For You with Mercury Retrograde reading. I'm Gemstone Tarot. We've got 3 piles of cards here. What I want you to do is to make an intuitive choice, which you've probably already made by now. Whichever one you're drawn to, go and check the timestamp that's in the description box. They'll have 1, 2 and 3. You can skip straight to that and get the information for love and general messages. What's coming in for you, Mercury Retrograde. Okay, so Mercury Retrograde is running from approximately 17th of November to about the 6th of December. There's always a shadow period of a week or two either side. So these energies are for about the next month. So choose 1, 2 or 3, go find your timestamp and I'll see you on the other side. Namaste. So you chose number 1. Okay, right, number 1s, let's have a look for you. Ooh. Wow, okay. Okay. It's quite a mixed bag for you, but I do like it a lot, number 1s. You are finding some kind of way to release yourself. I'm going to cross my legs for this one. Okay. 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords is commonly a card where the number 8 wants to move forward, but the swords are restricting this person. There's been an issue for you in your life which has stopped you moving forward. Often with the 8 of Swords, this issue is a mental prison. So sometimes it's partly experience and then it's partly our own experience system, I suppose, making different kind of portals in the head that says you can't do this, you can't do that, that's not for you, you're not good enough for this, you're not good enough for that, you're not good enough for that particular person. It feels like Mercury Retrograde is bringing this back. So you may find that you have issues about abundance. You have issues about feeling worthy. You have issues about feeling worthy of charging enough money if you've got your own business, of earning enough money if you're working for someone else, or if it's in terms of relationships. You may be working over issues to do with feeling worthwhile enough to draw boundaries with somebody, feeling that you can act your worth with somebody. We've got the 6 of Pentacles here. Lovely, lovely card, and quite wintry too, and kind of looks like fairy lights, isn't it, in the forest. 6 of Pentacles is the card of receiving gifts. Now this can be, because it's Pentacles, particularly financial, especially if you're dealing with, like I said, restrictive issues about asking for what you're worth. So you may find, if this is work, somehow your employer or even customers, if you've got your own business, is going to somehow test you to have to stand up for yourself and say, actually, this is my bottom line. I don't get out of bed for less than this or more than that or whatever it is. So you're going to have the strength to find where that bottom line is. And other people during Mercury Retrograde, the universe is going to send you other people in situations to test that strength and see whether you can break out beyond this 8 of Swords. And the thing to always notice with the 8 of Swords, and I think you can see it with this one too, is that the swords are always surrounding the person, but there's always a way out. And this is the way forward. She can just walk through. Now, often with the 8 of Swords, the person has a blindfold on. In other words, you can't quite see your way through. But all it's going to take is for you to stand firm. And I'm thinking solar plexus here because I'm feeling it in my own solar plexus. I hope that's where my solar plexus is. You do this sometimes and you're like, Gemma, it's not there. Okay, I'm feeling it here, okay? Let's just say here. I'm feeling it here in a kind of a yellow and a force. If you can be upright like this, if you can put all your power here, I think you'll find it easier to have that awkward conversation. And honestly, during Mercury retrograde, the next month or so, there's going to be some awkward conversations. Now, for those of you that are talking about love relationships, Venus has just gone direct after being retrograde for 6 weeks. So for a lot of us, there are issues to do with what went on in the past in relationships, what we're willing to forgive, what we're willing to put up with. Again, for you, number one, and it's nice because you're number one, okay? And I think there's a reason for that. You need to actually make sure you are number one while Mercury's retrograde. Over here, Major Arcana, the Strength card. The Strength card represents self-mastery. There's nearly always a female figure and a lion, and the person nearly always has their hand near the lion's mouth. And it's a message, you know. This person, whether it's work or whether it's love, people are going to challenge you. They're going to challenge you. They're going to be like, I'm the lion. Do you want to put your hand in my mouth? And you're kind of, it's already there. Pet, pet, pet. Here's a little treat. Do you know what I mean? Jog on. It's that kind of energy. You're going to get the opportunity to right some imbalances in this department. So, in love, it's about reciprocity. It's about what can someone else bring to the table. It's with the Six of Pentacles. It's about overgiving, being over generous, okay? And over here, I've got some love cards, Chuck Spezzano's love cards. Lack of self-worth. Don't know if you can see that. Don't know if you want to see that. Lack of self-worth, okay? And this straddles love, work, life, whatever it is. For some of you, and this is really not uncommon in Mercury retrograde, Mercury brings back to you somebody you had a soul contract with, but I'm feeling that the energy was very much of the sexy variety, okay? Someone where it was bangers in the bedroom. I've got sensuality. Now, this may be no bad thing, okay? Everybody likes a little bit of something, okay? Why not? Why not, indeed? And it's the holiday season, you know, 'tis the season to be jolly, but you get past life relationship. For some of you, again, this person comes back to you almost laying down the gauntlet, the challenge. This person is a challenge to you. And they're saying, you know, well, I pretty much think you may be getting a bit of a booty call thing. So again, you're going to be challenged to draw your boundaries. This is someone, you know, and there are always those people that have a way around us. They've got, I'm feeling kind of salsa dancing and snaky hips, and just someone who is confident with their body in a way that maybe you're not so confident with yours. Feels like this person might make an appearance on your particular stage, and your particular stage is this: Eight of Swords, the challenge. How can I draw the boundary? People testing your strength. What are you willing to give? What are you not willing to give? That's going to be the biggie for you. Now, over here, we've got Herbal Tarot, Temperance, Lush. Love this, because this represents Sagittarius, which is from the 22nd of November. For you, things are going to feel easier during the time of Sagittarius, which takes us right through the Mercury retrograde. The herb for this is echinacea, in case you're interested, in terms of just your own immunity support system. Okay? I'm feeling with this, and obviously, you know, stay safe and everything, but in terms of sensuality and past life relationship, I'm feeling pretty loosey-goosey. I'm feeling like you're going to want to go with the flow. This is good. Pleasure is good. Sensuality is good. And also, if it's to do with work, feeling when the right time is to ask for that pay rise, that's all good too. But at the same time, you are constantly, the universe is just going to be battering you to say, can you stand up for yourself? Can you stand up for yourself? The thing I would say for this whole period is, if you can, and this is a very temperance thing, see if you can make standing up for yourself a game. See if you can make it feel like fun, okay? It's for a month. It could have an effect on the rest of your life. You are number one, okay? Numero uno, number one in this Mercury retrograde period. It just feels like it could have larger resonances, okay? And your fairy card, you get the Lady of Song. I love this card. This is a card where each bird has their own individual song and you sing it. And it's that whole kind of, hey, I'm going to sing my song. That's it. I'm singing my song. Whether you like it, whether you don't, this is me. That's what you need to cultivate during Mercury retrograde. Okay, number one, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you want a private reading, you can book in the description box, see what's available at the moment, okay? And do share the video and I'll see you soon. Namaste. Right, so you chose number 2. Okay, let's have a look for you lovely number 2s. Of course, I haven't actually seen any of these cards yet. Ooh. Wow. Ooh, number 2. Right, I'm going to choose you a herbal tarot card. I'll tell you why number 2. Because when I look, it's like the Joker card. Do you know what though? That's staying in. That is staying in. I'm having that one as well because there is always a reason. Oh yes, okay. Okay. Number 2. This is quite a strong message actually. Where to begin? Okay. Mercury retrograde, one of the most, apart from the fact that your phone breaks, you shouldn't really go travelling if you can help it, you know, and all of the communication and everything breaks down. The other thing that often happens in Mercury retrograde is to do with romantic relationships. And number 2, this is kind of what I'm getting for you, very loud and clear. There is somebody, I would say from the past, because it's Mercury, it's a time of someone coming back. This may be the last person you would have expected to see again. I'm going to start with your Romance Angel Oracle card. Pay attention to the red flags. And I'll tell you something, okay, number 2, this is interesting. When I was, when I get these readings set up and I'm putting the 3 piles of cards in, I was shuffling, there you go, I'm miming my shuffle. I was shuffling, that looks bad. I was shuffling the cards, okay? And I thought to myself, pay attention to the red flags is coming out. I don't know why, it was just one of those things, okay? And you seem to have all of that pay attention to the red flags energy all in your bundle. The fact that I pulled the Joker card, it's not even the Joker card, it's just the kind of instruction card for the Herbal Tarot instead of an actual card. Somebody in your life, I'm getting the energy of what I would normally call a magician type energy. Somebody baffled you. I'm thinking gaslighting, I'm thinking crazy situations where you just can't for the life of you work out where this person is, why they've disappeared. It could be ghosting. It feels like at times they've been a joker, as in they couldn't even turn up as an archetype or someone you could recognize. I'm getting a feeling of mystery, of disappearance, of lies, to be honest, of non-recognition, of showing up then going away and showing up then going away. Okay. 3 of Swords. They may have been cheating, but do you know what? I feel like with this person, you couldn't actually even find that information out at the time. It's not even like you found out they were cheating on you. You thought they were. but it was so mysterious. They were so crazy making to you that you couldn't even get to the bottom of it. They may as well, every time you tried to talk to them about that, they may have made you feel like it was you. And in the end, you know, if someone does that to us often enough, it's like being in a hall of mirrors. You start seeing yourself, you know, wibbly wobbly and all over the shop, and you don't know where they end and you begin, and whether they're lying or whether you're insecure. It's a really toxic and unhealthy situation. Next to the Three of Swords, the Five of Cups. This again is a card of grief. It's a disruptive card. It's a 5. It's cups. It's emotions. Five of Cups is spilt cups as well. You can see the cups spilled here. There's sorrows. There are... Oh God, I mean, it feels like mixed feelings. You may be quite addicted to this person. They may, in a funny way, be quite addicted to you. For some of you, this is somebody you're already with, that you're going into the Mercury retrograde period with. If you've been in Venus retrograde for the last few weeks, you may have found yourself, and also, to be honest, for the whole of 2018, we've had these eclipses in Leo and Aquarius. So particularly, and some of you might be dealing with a Leo or an Aquarius, or with that prominently in their chart. You will have found this, to be honest, one of the craziest years of your life. It's not you, okay? I'm here to say it's not you. Now, I feel like for the bad rep that Mercury retrograde gets, in your case, this is a real clear out. This is a real, you know, I did my daily reading today, and I remember talking in that, and it might be worth, check that out, daily reading for the weekend. Check it out for the 17th and 18th of November, because there's a message there about Mercury retrograde taking your dirty washing. That's effectively what I'm looking at here. Number 2 is dirty washing, dirty relationship washing. Now, it can be romantic relationship. It can be a situation with a set of people. For some of you, it's to do with father of your children, mother of your children, divorce, custody. All of the whole shebang is in here. Now, what I said in that weekend reading is that sometimes Mercury retrograde takes your dirty washing and it puts it once more through the machine, just to give it a final rinse. And it feels to me that that is what's happening with you. But you must pay attention to the red flags. This is whether this person is already in your life, and for some of you, they've got one foot in and one foot out. They're neither with you nor against you. And you know, my old mum says, are you with me or not? It's that whole kind of, you know, are you with me, says the knight. You kind of need to know once and for all, and I think you might find out during Mercury retrograde what this person's true colours are. Whether they're actually with you or whether they're effectively against you. Now, the other herbal tarot card that I pulled was the Hermit. The herb for this is licorice. I love licorice. This major arcana card is, to be honest, number 2, it's kind of begging you to spend, even if particularly if this person is very, you know, I'm feeling this in the face, I'm feeling really, it could just be that you just cannot see past this person's crazy making talk. Have some solitude, have some time alone to think this through. If you need to ask for it, you need to ask for it. In fact, I wouldn't ask, I think I would tell. Because the other thing I'm getting from this situation is wretchedness. I'm getting real bodily sadness, you know, where it's affecting you physically, where you're feeling like sleepless nights or lack of appetite, or just not feeling like taking care of yourself properly. emotionally or physically. This person may have had you to the point of crazy making that you just can't even think straight, okay? Chuck Spezzano love cards, again, we get fear. For some of you, this is an ex, and it's even the shadow of this person. Mercury retrograde can bring back just memories of somebody from the past again, and it kind of, again, puts them once more through the washing machine. This eventually, as it spits you out the other side of 2018, okay, we move into 2019 and the fresh eclipses in Capricorn and Cancer. This is something that will build you a stronger life in the end if you heed the warnings now, okay? Fear of inadequacy. That could be how they're keeping you there. Feels like a very power struggle type relationship. For some of you, the child. For some of you, this is to do with fertility, having children with this person, maybe feeling this is your last chance to have children if you let this person go, or that you have children with this person and they're not behaving in a way that's responsible, that they're somehow manipulating the situation. It feels like dirty tricks, to be honest, against you. Now, major arcana, you get the World. Lovely jubbly, okay? This is a new cycle in the major arcana. I see this as 2019. I see Mercury as giving you this opportunity to rinse it out, okay? Brilliant. Bit like when you've been to the dentist, you know, you've made it all the way through and then you get to rinse out all the gack. Rinsing out the gack. Pay attention to those red flags. They mean something. If you, and this is the most important message, how do you feel when you're with this person? Not how do you feel about them. How do you feel about you when you're with this person? It's a kind of a feeling thing. It's a feeling thing. For you, I'm getting the root chakra, red. Root chakra is also about survival. For some of you, you feel like, or this person capitalizes on you feeling like you can't survive without them. Mercury retrograde is here to tell you that you can. This is actually a very clear, very beautiful and very washing machine-like looking card. This is the World, okay? The Fool in Major Arcana starts out 0 and he finishes up at the World. Okay, this is a new opportunity. Some of you have done the grieving. You've known about some kind of betrayal. This is where it all gets turned from the bottom round, okay, so that you can actually move forward in a genuine way. Some of you have tried to move forward and had a few false starts. Self-compassion, body care, self-love, all of those things, okay? Nobody usually makes it out the first time. Sometimes, you know, particularly if you're dealing with a narcissist, and some of you are, it can be often an average of about 7 times to get away from somebody. So no reproach for yourself, okay? This is about self-love, jumping on to a new universe, okay? 2019 can be very different and a lot more positive. So number 2, do check out my other pick a card readings. I think they'll be really good. They're all on a playlist on my channel. If you want to book a reading, see what I've got available at the moment. I have had to restrict it a bit recently because I've been overbooked. It's in the description box. If you want to donate to the channel, you can also do that in the description box. And thank you to those of you that have done. Do subscribe and do share this video on social media. Check out my daily and monthly readings. And I'll see you soon. I wish you all the best, number 2. Namaste. Hello, lovely number 3. Okay, let's have a look for you. It's exciting, this, because I don't get to see the cards. I pull them intuitively and then I'm only seeing them, wow, for the first time now. Okay, so number 3, you may have also felt drawn to all of them actually, but also number 2. That's really normal when you're doing pick a card readings. You kind of feel like you need to be good and just choose one. But, you know, life's pretty messy. And I reckon you may have been drawn to, yeah, number 2 as well, because it resonates with number 2. Okay. Knight of Wands in the Herbal Tarot. Sometimes this is dealing with a fire sign. It's aconite, a poisonous herb. Interesting. Okay, some of you, what I'm getting for you with Mercury retrograde is moving out of damage and into hope. Knight of Wands, when it's in the upright as well, which this is, it's positive. It's someone coming towards you. It's passion. It's opportunities. Some of you, there's a shadow, is what I'm getting. There's shadow and there's light. And I think what you need to make sure during Mercury retrograde is that you don't let the shadow win, okay? You don't let the shadow win. Now, as we all know, if you've done shadow work and you know, any kind of spirituality, philosophy, it's not a case of only being in the light. You know, we are human. Our lives are governed by shadow and light, yin and yang. The two interact with each other and we are integrated beings. And it is a moving towards acceptance. But for some of you, you're in the shadow of a relationship which you can't forget. 7 of Swords, never a card to be ignored. If I'm doing a private reading and it's about romance and the 7 of Swords comes up, you know, my little tarot meep, meep, meep will go on and I'll be thinking, okay, we got the 7 of Swords. What do I need to be looking out for here? Okay. It feels like somebody was not what they said they were. They didn't deliver. For some of you, this is where somebody came in very hot and heavy into a relationship and it flipped, it switched. It could have been a few weeks, a few months into it. They, in the beginning, you know, this is the Knight of Wands bringing the poisonous herb. They just may have been really, really passionate, swept you off your feet, made you feel like the most important person in the world. And then with that 7 of Swords, you know, there's a real sly fox quality to the 7 of Swords. There's a real, you know, sometimes you get that when there's a player and they've been doing that with several different people at the same time, or they move quickly and then you suddenly, you know, you see them on Facebook and they're all loved up with somebody else and you're thinking, oh my God, you were telling me that I was the best thing since sliced bread 5 minutes ago and look, you're over here doing this. It's that feeling of the shadow. For some of you, this could be a long time ago, like 7 years even. But Brian and Wendy Frood, Heart of the Fairy Oracle, you get the remembrance. Such a Mercury retrograde card. Now this tells me, number 3, you're very spiritual, you're very tuned in, okay? Because to be honest, the more spiritually evolved you are, the more the retrogrades will move through you. You know, like wind blowing on the strings of a instrument. It plays through you and you are kind of, you need to navigate these energies. So you're going to feel that shadow. And often, you know, being human as well, spirit in a human body, on the human journey, we can find we are more naturally drawn to the shadow than we are to the light. And I don't know why. You could be light workers, number 3, okay? This person feels kind of gone. That's my kind of gone mine. They feel out of the picture somehow. And what I'm also getting for you, which I do really like, is that somebody real may be coming in. Okay. Chuck Spezzano love card. I get fantasy. with this person before, there was a large element of fantasy. They may have fantasized and future talked with you a lot about how you could have this many kids, or how you could live in Hawaii, you could live in the country, you could do this, you could do that, all the time, probably quite passionate, you know, making sexual chemistry so that you're swept along and you don't have time to really have a reality check with yourself, okay? But it feels like there's the start of something else coming in for you in Mercury retrograde that is a lot more genuine. Prince of Cups. Now, Prince of Cups, he comes in with an offer. He's in the upright, okay? All your cards are in the upright, which we like. You are moving forward. And considering it's a retrograde, you know, it's going to feel a bit tiring. If you can accept, rather than resist, the shadow of who this person was, it will give you access to the light, and it feels very light for me, so that this person can come in. Now, it feels like this person will be perhaps in some way not weaker than you, but either a bit younger than you, or someone who's quite, you know, if this person, if I'm talking to women here, if this person was your A-type, you know, alpha male, because we have got the Knight of Wands, you know, who's like, I'm in charge, I'll get the door for you, you know, there goes your knicker elastic, etc. If it was that kind of sweeping away, which for some of you it was, and then they turned around and just basically dumped you by the roadside, okay, this person is a softer energy. So they're not going to come in and be aggressively passionate. Now, again, it could be your shadow side that you're attracted to unavailability, and Mercury retrograde is going to give you the opportunity to work through that, okay? It could be that you need to be kind of future forwarded in order to not have the fears about intimacy that maybe you have within you, that we all have as vulnerable humans, okay? This person is going to key much more into that intimate side. You may find it frightening. You may try and shut them out, okay? Chuck Spezzano love card, giving oneself. This is like somebody who actually will want to give you their heart and want yours in return. All of it. Now that's a beautiful and very frightening thing. The other thing that may happen is when this comes into your life, if it hasn't already, that you may start thinking about that person again, either as a sabotage, a safety method, or they may even appear because they've sniffed the wind and they smell that someone else is interested. Watch out for that. Excuse me. Again, suddenly losing my voice doing or feeling my throat is constricted. Throat chakra. Look at your throat chakra. This is about your voice, okay? You may also have been drawn to number 1. I feel like you were drawn to number 1 as well. Romance Angel Oracle card. This could be the one. They're not going to look like your usual type. They're going to feel less forceful than your usual type. Being swept off your feet sometimes doesn't allow you to make decent conscious choices about whether something is right for you. Queen of Wands. This is being back in charge. And again, Queen of Wands, Prince of Cups. She's more in charge than he is. This may feel like something very foreign, but that person is a very, very nice energy for me. This could be the one as a nice energy. This is a sexy, difficult, saturnine, aconite, shadow type energy. If you can somehow integrate what happened in the past and accept the light of what this person has to offer. I feel Mercury retrograde will be a really beautiful thing for you, number 3. Wow. Okay, if you want a private reading, you can have a look in the description box, see what's available. I have restricted them a bit because I've been overbooked and overwhelmed, okay? So just see what's available if you want to book. If you want to donate to the channel, and thank you to those of you that have, you can do that in the description box below. Check out my other pick a card readings. I've got a whole playlist on my channel. I also do daily readings and monthly readings, and I normally do readings for things like Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde, and other times of the year. So just have a look, okay? And check me out on Instagram as well, Gemstone Tarot, and I'll see you soon. Namaste.